friend. I'm Lexi Pregastis, and I'm the Executive Director for the Sun Valley Institute for Resilience, and will be your MC of sorts for today. I am so honored to be working for this organization, a place where I feel like purpose and passion truly intersect. We work to build community resilience, something that is multifaceted and complex, yet also intuitive. And to me, resilience looks like a community that celebrates its local environment, honors its many members, and has a robust, dynamic economy. And there are many ways to build resilience, and there are many elements to it as well. Food systems are a powerful lever for change, and currently our programmatic focus. Our agricultural food system has one of the largest footprints
I'm taking a seminar.
Oh, and actually, I guess I should ask if we all can mute as well. Thanks. So in our agricultural food system uses vast quantities of energy, water, and dramatically shapes our relationship with our land. More importantly, though, food systems are inherently inclusive. The saying goes, if you eat, then you're in. And lastly, food systems build bridges, something many of us are yearning for as a result of this year. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Brooke Pierce and Amy Mateus, who will introduce themselves, and then we'll jump in to why we are all here, to learn about an innovative way to transform our regional food system.
Perfect. Thank you, Lexi. Hi, everyone. I'm Brooke Pierce. I'm the Investment Director for the Sun Valley Institute for Resilience. My career to date has been in financial services. I spent 6 years in Ernst & Young's management consulting practice, working with clients in banking and capital markets. I then went back to school to get my MBA, focusing on impact investing, social entrepreneurship, and environmental sustainability. Over the past 2 to 3 years, I have had the incredible honor of working with several companies in the space, including Calvert Impact Capital, the Conservation Fund, Self-Help Credit Union, and now the Institute. I am so excited about the work that we have been doing, and I'm thrilled for the opportunity to share it with you all tonight.
Thanks, Brooke. I'm Amy Mateus, and I'm so grateful to be here with you all today. I'm the Program Director of the Sun Valley Institute for Resilience in the Local Food Alliance. I've been working here in the regional food shed since 2014, and I've worked for various food and farm-related operations, including Nourish Me, Craze Market and Garden, Idaho's Bounty, and Lava Lake Lamb. I'm also on the board of the Idaho Center for Sustainable Agriculture, Fair Idaho, and the Upper Bigwood River Grange. Over the years of working in the Central Idaho Food Shed, I've had the opportunity to connect with small farmers and ranchers, also mid-scale farmers and ranchers, production models of all sizes, small business owners, chefs and restaurateurs, and hundreds of consumers striving to eat nourishing food, grow their regional economy, and really ensure that their food dollars support good agricultural practices.
We are so humbled by these two's talent and intellect, and together we create a best-in-class team that can bring this program to fruition for our food system and its many stakeholders. What we plan on accomplishing today in the next 15 minutes or so is to, first, Amy is going to tell you a bit more about our food system and why it is right for transformation. Second, Brooke is going to tell you how the Impact Idaho Fund is structured to do just that, bring capital to catalyze that transformation. And third, got someone coming in, sorry. Third, I'll let you know how you can join us. There's a lot of background information that has gone into this, and the goal for today is to provide you with a high-level overview. And if you would like to ask questions, we'd love to answer them again at the end, or if you want to follow up with us one-on-one. But before we begin, I'm going to put up a poll on the screen for you to answer. And let's see. Are you guys all seeing that poll? So we would just want to learn a bit more about everyone in the room. So the first question is, do you seek out local food when you grocery shop? Yes or no? Pretty simple question. And then how often does local food show up on your plate, including the food you've grown? So we're getting answers in. I love watching the results come in. It's always so exciting. Okay, so let's see, we're gonna end poll and we're gonna share the results. So great news, we like local food in this group. That's wonderful. And actually it's a pretty impressive group of how often you end up eating local food on a daily or weekly basis. And then, sorry, this is a little quick pop quiz. And there is a right answer, but here we go. How much of what is grown in Blaine County is exported? Less than 10%, 11 to 50%, 51 to 90%, or more than 90? Oh, interesting. Again, I just love this. Okay, so we're getting the answers in. We got a few more people to answer. And again, just take a wild guess if you don't know. Okay, ready? So we do have a correct answer, and our group did not all get it, but more than 90% of what is grown in Blaine County is exported, which is, oh, sorry, here's my sharing the results. And so you guys can all see that we have a massive problem here. And it's clear that you want to eat local, yet we don't have the infrastructure in our national or regional food system to support that. And with that in mind, I'm going to pass it over to Amy to provide a bit more color on our regional food system and our vision for the future.
Thanks, Lexi. So our existing global food system is really wrought with concerns, from degenerating natural resources, from chemical use and tillage, to overfed yet undernourished populations leading to a multitude of chronic health issues. Farmers in the U.S. are aging out. 70% of farms will be transitioning out of current ownership over the next 20 years, and that farmland is facing development pressure. While that's a national trend, we're experiencing it here in Idaho as well. We have lost over 100,000 acres of farmland since 2015. Losing this valuable acreage has profound impacts on our ability to feed our residents, as on average, 1 acre feeds 1 person. Idaho is also the 3rd largest user of fresh water in the entire country. We consume over 15 billion gallons of water per day for agricultural purposes alone. This is an unfathomable number, and it gives us a perspective as to the resource burden of our current food system. Idaho is a rich agricultural state, yet over 90% of the food we produce is exported, and we import the majority of the food that ends up on our plates on a daily basis. While agriculture has continued to be part of our regional economy, the reliance upon volatile commodity markets and lack of regional infrastructure discourages the transition to a regionalized food system. On the other hand, the demand for locally grown organic food is increasing. Agriculturalists here in Idaho have an opportunity to meet growing market demands, ensure farmland preservation for generations to come. So we envision something different. We envision, okay, there's my slide. We envision a regional food system where natural resources like our fresh mountain waters and our rich topsoil are valued and stewarded. A system that puts nutrient-dense, real food on the plates of every community member and visitor, and a system that uplifts thousands of agricultural workers by providing safe work environments, fair wages, and opportunities for ownership. Over the past year, we crafted this vision for Southern Idaho that really showcases the power of regenerative food and regionalized food systems. We were selected as one of 1,300 global submissions as a semifinalist in the Rockefeller Food Vision Prize platform. We're now taking the next steps towards this vision by launching our Impact Idaho Fund. I'll hand it over to Brooke to go into all the details.
Perfect. Thank you, Amy. The purpose of the fund is to attract and mobilize mission-driven capital for innovative projects. These projects will advance community resilience in Central and Southern Idaho. In pursuit of community resilience, investments will target the build-out of sustainable, renewable, and regenerative practices related to food and agriculture, land, water, and energy use. For the pilot round, we have selected 3 incredibly dynamic projects that employ resilient agricultural practices to address critical gaps in the regional food system. By funding diversified farm operations, we can create redundancies that strengthen the supply chain, creating more reliable, more affordable access to locally grown, nutrient-dense food. And by launching this pilot fund, we can demonstrate successful business and investment models that will allow us to transition to a debt fund in the future, activating even more capital for community resilience. As I mentioned, we have 3 projects lined up. The first is Itty Bitty Farms. They are a farm and greenhouse operation with an on-farm retail store in Cary. Through the Impact Idaho Fund, we will administer a recoverable grant of $10,000 that Itty Bitty will use to expand their growing space by 800 square feet, to extend their growing season by 1 to 2 months on either end, and to increase their annual yield by 10,000 pounds. Itty Bitty will also use the grant to improve their on-farm retail store, expanding access to affordable produce, meat, and dairy. This project scales up local food production in an incredibly food-scarce community, one that has historically had limited access to healthy, fresh food. The second project is Lookout Farm. They're a vegetable farm and CSA in Bellevue. They have 14 acres, 2 of which they've transitioned from alfalfa and grass hay production to vegetable production. Through the fund, we'll administer a $35,000 recoverable grant that Lookout will use to transition an additional 2 acres from animal feed to the seasonal vegetables on our plates. This transition not only scales up local food production, it also uses 90% less water. This project can also be used as a model for future land use transitions by other local farmers in the region. Our third project is Harmony Hens. They're a certified organic egg layer operation in Twin Falls. Harmony Hens is actually planning to expand into pasture-raised meat birds and build an on-farm processing facility. Through the fund, we'll administer a recoverable grant of $250,000 that Harmony Hens will use to build a USDA-inspected poultry processor and to expand pastured poultry production to meet market demands. This project fills a critical gap in the regional food system, since the closest poultry processing facility is in Oregon. With a new facility in Twin Falls, the Valley will have a much more reliable supply of higher quality meat, all with a much smaller environmental footprint. Now that I've described the pilot projects, I want to take a moment to walk through the fund model. Right now, we're working with you all, the advocates, the donors, the beneficial investors on the left-hand side of the diagram, raising charitable donations and recoverable grants. We'll then channel those funds to the projects on the right-hand side of the diagram. The grantees will implement their projects. They'll return their grants according to individualized flexible payment schedules over the next 5 years. We'll monitor those projects and collect semi-annual impact and financial reports through the entirety of their repayment process. The grants returned by the grantees will either be repaid to beneficial investors, or they'll be recycled into the fund and redeployed to similar impact forward projects in the future.
So our portfolio approach for the pilot and the fund in general underscores our interest in finding diverse projects that impact and transform our food system by addressing critical gaps and testing a new vehicle to bring capital to our community. And we are so proud and honored to share this opportunity with you all. So you've learned about us. We have an incredible team doing the work that is necessary to launch this fund. And we have the deep knowledge with our regional food system and strong relationships with its many stakeholders. We have expertise in leveraging capital to drive impact and the capacity to spend time with our farmers and grantees to develop a deep understanding of their business, their practices, and their aspirations. And so I'm going to ask one more question, although now it's hard when everyone doesn't have their video on. So I'll just assume. Raise your hand if you want to be part of the transformation. And again, I'm just going to assume that everyone is raising their hand. And there, thanks, Jerry. And there we go, there's Andy. And also, assuming that everyone likes tax write-offs, we have an opportunity for you and or your people in your network. We are seeking $300,000 by the end of this year to launch the pilot. We have the opportunity to transform our regional food system, and we invite you to join us. And we would be happy to answer any questions. And again, we are so appreciative of your time.